Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lacey. So today we are doing something slight but different. I am starting a series here on my channel called The Battle of the Bases. Obviously you see by the title of this video. So each episode is going to be different. I'm going to try out different bases. I've always been curious to know if there's really a difference between using a base, a primer, a concealer, and if so, what it really is. So today we are going to start the first episode, and I kind of want to start right there and see what the difference is. So today we are going to do a base and a primer, and I'm going to start out with two of the most loved and most talked about, raved about eyeshadow primer and base that I have ever seen here on YouTube, in the beauty community, everywhere, and that is the MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot and the Urban Decay Primer Potion. So if you guys are curious to see who's gonna win, make sure you guys just stay tuned. But also, I do want to say a disclaimer really quick. This is based off of my opinions. This is my own personal preference. And if you guys love these products, please continue to keep using them. And no shade, no tea. I'm sure they're all great products and they work for some people, but some things just don't work for some people that are beloved by others. So just make sure you guys keep that in mind while watching this. Also, if you guys have any bases that you guys would love to see me try and put in this series, make sure you guys go ahead and comment those down below, and I will be sure to try to check those out for you guys. So it's going to come down to an ultimate winner, obviously, and how it's going to work is I'm going to pick each week's winner and put it up against another one in the next episode. So if you guys are interested in that and you are new here, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also hit the little bell next to it so you do not miss one episode of Battle of the Bases. So if you guys are interested in seeing who wins this battle, make sure you just keep watching this video, and without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into it. Okay guys, so we are starting out obviously a little bit different than normal, and I do have a full face on. So I just want to give you guys some information real quick. I picked up a couple primers. I do have more. Obviously, this is the first of the series, and I kind of want to start this off right, and I want to do a base versus a primer. So you guys know that I absolutely love my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and I mean, it's a concealer. I know that they make a ton of different eyeshadow primers, a ton of different bases. Well, excuse you. I just wanted to pick up a couple that are extremely popular, and I want to figure out if there is a difference between primer, eyeshadow base, and concealer, or if it really doesn't matter. So if you guys would, I will leave a little poll up here in the eye. Just go ahead and click on that and tell me which one is your favorite, which one do you prefer. And after you guys go ahead and vote up here in the corner, make sure you go down below and comment and let me know why you picked that. And if you have a specific brand that you like I know a lot of people actually ride or die for MAC, the Pro Longwear Paint Pot. And actually, I think this is supposed to be like an eyeshadow, like a cream eyeshadow. And I have never seen it used for that, so I'm going to use it as a base today. And then also, I have heard people rave about the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I went ahead and picked up Original because I really didn't want this to have a color. So I am going to go ahead and prime my eyelids using these. So I have never used either of these. So on my left side, I'm going to go ahead and prime with the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Original, and this retails for $24. And then I'm going to go ahead and put MAC's Pro Longwear Paint Pot in the shade Soft Ochre on the left side, and this retails for $22. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and dip into this paint pot. And as I said, I'm going to go ahead and put that on my left eye. And I'm going to use this brush, which is the Morphe M517. This is kind of typically what I would use to go ahead and put this on my eye. My other normal paint brush eyeshadow brush is dirty, so I've noticed that it seems to be soft ochre and painterly as the most common. I think it just depends on your skin tone. I honestly got soft ochre because, well, it was the only one available. Honestly, I think this matches my skin tone pretty well. Okay, so, and then on this side, I am going to use the Urban Decay Primer Potion. Like I said, this is in the shade Original. I do know that they have two of them, I think, that have color to them, but like I said, I wanted to see if it really mattered, the difference with just like a normal clear eyeshadow base. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take the doe foot and put that all over. So I noticed this right away is removing anything I had on my eye, which I had a slight bit of concealer from doing my eyebrows. So I'm not gonna go crazy with the eyeshadow today. I am just gonna do a kind of simple look. It is really about the longevity of the shadows and how they perform on top of these. I am not going to set either of these because that is how I typically do my eyeshadow. I am just gonna go ahead and apply this straight on the top. Why can I not speak? Straight on top of both of the primers. And I'm gonna go ahead and use my Nubian Mini Palette by Juvia's Place. I am gonna go ahead and take my color switch by Juno & Co. and I'm going to clean each brush in between because I do not have duplicates of brushes. I have very similar brushes, but I want to make sure that I'm using almost the exact same brushes as possible, if not the exact same as possible. So right away, it looks like actually the paint pot has dried down completely and it's matte. And the eyeshadow, the primer potion, is a little bit tacky, so this might grip a little bit more on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and first start off with this color down here. And this is a Morphe brush. I'm not quite sure if this has a name. It came out of the 702 set. I'm just taking a tiny bit and I'm going to go ahead and start on the primer potion side. I'm going to just start by blending that into my crease. Obviously, since the paint pot dried down and the primer potion is still a tiny bit tacky, this is going to maybe make it skip. And I know that this is going to be a battle of the bases. The reason I'm starting out with a primer and a base is because we're going to start with the basics and move our way up. Okay, so right away, if you have any concealer or anything on your eyelid and you put the primer potion over it, obviously it is going to move it around, and I am seeing that it is looking a little weird right in this area. I don't know if it's going to pick that up on camera or if I'm obviously close enough to the camera to be able to tell, but it's like it bunched up in here in the corner and I don't really know what to do to try to fix it, but we're gonna proceed anyway. And if this series is something that you guys are interested, please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up so I can make sure I continue to do it for you guys, and we can just try a bunch of different bases if that's what you guys would like to see, because I'm always curious. Okay, so other than this inner part of my eye, it is looking pretty good and it actually blended out fairly easy. I'm gonna go ahead and go back into this shade right here and I'm going to go ahead and start blending that on the MAC paint pot. By the way, I forgot to mention on this side, I only dipped in 3 times to get this pigment. So there's 1, here's 2, the 3rd dip. If there's any bases you guys would like me to try or any kind of concealers you want to see this up against, please go ahead and comment down below. I am definitely going to get the P. Louise base because, well, that's like the ultimate base, right? Okay, so whoa, that has a totally different effect. This is kind of shocking me actually. Like, it's crazy that the color looks like a totally different color, and this one looks so much more pigmented than this one. Like, this one, honestly, if I must tell you how I honestly feel, I actually prefer this side because it is a transition shade and I don't want it to be extremely opaque. But this side, like, I'm kind of in shock. It looks really pretty, but and it's very one toned from bottom to top of the eyeshadow. In this one, like, you can tell that I have been blending for a little while, and it looks like it is darker in this area and blended out more on the outside, which I'm not mad at. It kind of looks like I have two different shades on my eye, so I don't know if that is because of my technique or if that is because of the paint pot or what it is. But I mean, actually right now I'm really preferring this eye, if I'm dead honest. It just looks more flawless and more just beautiful, but I do really like the pigment on this side. Okay, so I'm going in with a brand new brush just to really give this a fair chance. This is the Morphe M434 brush, and I'm going to dip into this shade right up here. I've got quite a bit on my brush, as you can see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by just pressing that into my crease, keeping it lower than the last color. And then when I have that placed, I am going to just lightly start blending that out. And I also am going to pack that on my outer corner as well. I'm going to blend that out using this Morphe PK36 brush, and I'm going in with no excess product. I'm just going to blend those colors. Okay, so with the primer potion, I am seeing that this, like, everything comes out really intense, like extremely intense. I'm not mad about it by any means, but I think this would be really good to use with like very bright, beautiful eyeshadows and very vivid looks. In the 434 brush, back into that deep shade. And actually, I think I only dipped in twice on that shade. I'm going to do the same thing on this eye. Now that I have that applied, I'm going back in with the PK36 brush, and I'm going to start blending those shades. Okay, so far I feel like everything is blending a lot easier on this eye, but like I said before, everything is looking a little more intense on this eye. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little e.l.f. brush and this Morphe E35 brush, and I'm going to cut the lid. I'm going to use the e.l.f. brush on this side, and I'm going to use the Morphe one on the MAC side. I mean, they're not exactly the same, but they're similar. So I'm going to start with the Urban Decay side. I'm just going to take a little bit of this and put it on the back of my hand, taking that brush. I'm going to just carve out where I want my cut crease to be. That actually was really easy, but you kind of have to work fast with this, because if not, it starts to kind of dry down and get really tacky, and it's hard to drag your brush across your lid when it's tacky. Using the soft ochre paint pot, I'm going to use this Morphe E35 brush, and I'm going to do the same thing on my other eye. Obviously, you're going to get a more clean line on the paint pot side, but only because it does have color, so like you can barely tell that I have done really a whole lot with this eye, but it has cleaned up the eyeshadow where I wanted it to. But this actually did a really good job. But like I said, with the Urban Decay one, you kind of have to work pretty quickly because it starts to kind of grip and pull and tug. But also I've noticed the same thing on the paint pot side as well. You don't have as much work time as you would with a concealer. I'm going to take this Morphe M431 pencil brush, and I'm going to take this Pure Bronze and Brighten highlighter contour type palette type thing, I don't know. And I'm going to take this middle shade right here, and I'm going to put that on top of where I cut the crease. Alright, so taking the same brush, same shade, going to put that on the paint pot side. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to go back in with this pencil here, or this pencil. I'm going to go back in with the M434 brush. I'm just going to blend that outer shade and that shimmery shade together. I am just flipping the brush over on each side because I do not want to contaminate either side. This part definitely has like a clear winner because I really like to have a smooth transition between the colors, and this side looks very smooth and even where I blended them together, and this one looks a little patchy. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my eye makeup off camera, and I will be right back to discuss the winner. So this side again is the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre, and this one is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer in Original. As I said during the application, the paint pot side seemed to blend a lot easier. It just looks more airbrushed and blended and very beautiful, and with the Urban Decay side it definitely looks more intense. Like the colors went on a lot more like bam in your face, and I really enjoy both sides, to be honest, but I will go off the pros and the cons, and I feel like the MAC paint pot had a lot less cons for the simple fact that I really don't think I can see any. I think I would do better with like Painterly because this is a little dark, but because of the shade of this, and it is a slight bit darker than my skin tone, it looks like a natural kind of like a transition shade because I did have a little bit of concealer right under my brow bone and it's still kind of peeking through. And with this, like, you can only see obviously the colors of the eyeshadow that I applied because this does not have any color, which I don't mind because that is what's the point in transition shades if you're not gonna just see it peeking through. But I will say I do enjoy this for the pigmentation, but I feel like it kind of clinged a little bit more to this Urban Decay Primer Potion than it did the MAC one, and honestly because of that I will have to declare the MAC Paint Pot the winner of this round. Don't get me wrong, this is a good one and I definitely can say I do recommend this, especially probably for like more intense looks and for packing on eyeshadow, and use the MAC one to maybe just blend stuff out and make it look a little more airbrushed. I'm not going to say anything else because I want to save it for the next round, and also like I said I want to make this a series, so if you guys want to see which base or concealer, primer, whatever I use put up against the MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot next time, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I see why everybody raves about this, and honestly I see why everybody raves about this as well. I really did enjoy them both and I will continue using them both, But anyways, guys, if you like this video and you guys are excited to see the next episode, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. I love you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye!